Hi students! Did you have a chance to do the homework? Did you have an opportunity to do the homework? Remember, an opportunity is a chance, meaning you had the ability, you had the time to do the homework. If you did not have the opportunity to do the homework, you can always go back to the last video and do the homework before you start this video. Okay, today we will read an article about what to do if you are worried about spending too much money. If you are worried about spending too much money. But before we will read the article, we are going to go ahead and review the homework from the last video. So let's get started. So remember, in this homework, you had to continue practicing gerunds, okay? We had to look at the emotion or the feeling, match that with the right preposition, and then finish the sentence by choosing a word from the word box. So let's look at the example. I am excited about starting school in the fall. I am excited about starting school in the fall. So excited always goes with about, and then we have starting school in the fall. Our gerund is starting. Okay, let's look at number 2. I'm afraid. What preposition goes with afraid? Which preposition goes with afraid? Did you look at your chart? I'm afraid, and afraid always goes with of. I'm afraid of, and then we see my job. So what would you be afraid of? What are our choices? I'm afraid of learning my job. No, that doesn't really make sense. You wouldn't be afraid of learning your job. I'm afraid of paying my job. No, that doesn't make sense either. Which word makes sense? Which word fits? Yeah, I'm afraid of losing my job. Losing my job. You would be afraid of losing your job because you need to make money, right? So I'm afraid of losing my job. And remember, we take off the E before we add ing. Let's look at number 3. I'm worried. Which preposition goes with worried? About, right. I'm worried about. What would you be worried about? The second part of the sentence says, my rent next month. Well, of the choices in the box, the only one that fits is paying. I'm worried about paying my rent next month. Let's look at number 4. I'm happy. Which one goes with happy? I'm happy about. Yes, happy is followed by about. And then we have my exam last month. So what would you be happy about? I'm happy about passing my exam last month. Do we know what passing my exam means? To pass an exam means to get a good letter grade. Okay, to get a good letter grade. You pass your test if you get a good grade and they say, okay, good job. You can go on to the next thing. Okay, number 5. I am interested. What preposition do we use with interested? I am interested in. I am interested in, and what would you be interested in? Something about computers. So we look at our choices. I am interested in learning about computers. I'm interested in learning about computers. And number 6, the last one, I am tired. And remember, the phrase as I am tired, what preposition? Of. Okay, I am tired of blank ads on TV, and the only word that fits here is watching. So I'm tired of watching ads on TV. Don't forget, tired of is the same thing as I am bored with, okay? I don't want to do this anymore. It is not interesting. It is not fun. I am tired of, okay? And ads on TV, what are ads? Ads are when people are trying to tell you to buy their stuff or to do their stuff. So that is an ad. There are many ads on the internet. There are many ads on TV. We also call those commercials. Okay, let's look at another exercise. This was not homework, but it is just a little bit more practice with prepositions and gerunds. So in this exercise, we have questions, and we need to fill in the correct word and preposition, okay? So they give you 4 words in the word box. They are all emotions, feelings, how we feel about something. We have afraid, excited, interested, worried, okay? Those are all feelings. So we need to connect the feeling with the right preposition, okay? And then how do we know which feeling? We have to read the answers. So the answers will tell you what the question is supposed to be. So let's look at the example. They have, what are you? And then we have to fill in the blank. And then the answer is starting a new job. So would you be afraid, excited, interested, or worried? I have to say, they chose excited about. And that's a good question. You could also be worried about starting a new job. Maybe you are worried that you will not be good at your job. Maybe you are worried that your boss will not be nice. There are many reasons somebody might be worried or nervous about starting a new job. They might also feel afraid or interested in starting a new job. But here, the best choice, excited about. Let's look at number 2. What are you? And then we have to fill it in. And the answer is paying my bills. Okay, no one is excited about paying bills, right? I'm not excited about paying my bills. So it's definitely not excited about. Most people also aren't interested in paying their bills. I don't think it's interested in. So we have afraid of and worried about, okay? Which one do you think it is? You're usually not really afraid of paying your bills either. You want to pay them so that you don't get in trouble. So in this one, what are you worried about? People worry about having enough money to pay their bills. So in this one, what are you worried about? Paying my bills. Number 3, what are you, and then we have failing my test. So what is this one? Our 2 choices that we have left are afraid of and interested in. Those are the 2 choices. So we know it is probably not interested in. Nobody wants to fail their test. I think this one is afraid of. What are you afraid of? Failing my test. You could have said, what are you worried about? Failing my test. That is also an okay question and answer. But since we used worried about in number 2, we're going to use afraid of for number 3. And number 4, what are you? And our only choice left is interested. What preposition goes with interested? Right, interested in. What are you interested in? And then we're going to answer with our gerund, buying a new TV. That sounds like a good idea. So let's go on, and we are going to now practice reading an article that uses some of these feelings with a preposition and a gerund. Okay, So come and read along with me. So, this article is called Worried About Spending Too Much? Worried about spending too much? Do you remember the word article? An article is something that is in a newspaper or a magazine or online that gives people information, okay? It is writing that gives people information about something. So this article is about what to do if you are worried about spending too much. Okay, I will read it, and I want you to listen, but also to read with me, okay? Listen and read along with me. Worried about spending too much. It's the end of the month, and suddenly you don't have enough money for the electric bill, the rent, or credit card payments. What can you do? Here are some tips if you are worried about spending too much. First, write down your family budget. How much does your family spend each month on food, clothes, entertainment, and transportation? Then, think of easy ways to spend less on each item. For example, you could try to buy some things at a thrift store. Another strategy is to compare prices online, especially if you are buying something large like a TV or a computer. You could also look for coupons and discounts in the newspapers. Some people spend too much because they use credit cards with high interest rates and only make the minimum payment. If you want to save money, use only one credit card or use a debit card and cash instead. Then you will not be afraid of getting into debt. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at some of the prepositions and gerunds that are in this article. Then we will discuss the article. So, do you see any prepositions followed by a gerund? Well, when we look at the title, okay, the title is worried about spending. So right there we have a feeling, worried, followed by the preposition about, and then we follow it with a gerund, spending. Worried about spending. We see that again later in the article where they say, here are some tips if you are worried about spending too much. I underlined that in yellow. Do you see it? And then there's one more at the bottom of the article. Then you will not be afraid, so afraid is the feeling, of getting into debt, okay? So that is seeing what we just studied in our exercises in an article, okay? They used a feeling followed by a preposition and then a gerund. So let's discuss what was in the article. Where does the writer give suggestions about spending less on items? Remember, when we give suggestions, we usually use words like could. So, where does the writer start to give suggestions about spending less on items? Let's see. Do you see the word could anywhere? He says, then think of easy ways to spend less on each item. For example, and now he's going to use could. You could try to buy some things at a thrift store. Another strategy Remember that word strategy, a way to achieve your goal, something that you want to do to reach a goal. You use different strategies. So you could buy some things at a thrift store. Another strategy is to compare prices online, okay, especially if you're buying something large like a TV or computer. And third, he says you could also look for coupons and discounts in the newspaper. So he gives 3 strategies, 3 suggestions for how to spend less on items. Okay. So let's answer these questions. The main idea of this article is, and our choices are how to spend money, how to save money, how to use a credit card, or how to pay off your debts. But this article, the main idea was about how to save money. It tells you what to do if you are worried about spending too much. So this article is about saving. Number 2 says write down your family budget means. Family budget. We are going to talk some more about those words, family budget, in the next lesson. But let's see if we can figure it out. Does writing down your family budget mean A, make a list of your debts, B, make a list of your savings, C, make a list of your expenses, or D, make a list of ways to save? This one is going to be choice C, make a list of your expenses. When you write a budget, you write a list of all your expenses. It says rent, $750, car, $200, electric bill, $150. You write down how much you spend every month on different items. So you have an idea of how much money you are spending, how much money you are making, and then you can figure out, is there a way to save more money? Maybe you see you are spending too much on groceries, and you can think of ways that you can spend less on groceries. So a family budget is writing down a list of your expenses. Number 3, the article suggests 3 ways of, let's see what our choices are. Choice A says buying better things. Choice B, controlling your spending. Choice C, paying off your debt. And choice D, paying your bills. Does this article really talk about buying better things? No. What was the article about? It was about how to save money if you were worried about spending too much. So the best choice here is B, controlling your spending. Controlling your spending. Number 4, read it with me and see if you can answer it yourself. The article says that credit card bills are often high, okay? And why did it say that credit card bills are often high? Did it talk about people only pay the minimum? People don't have too many cards. People don't save money. Or people use debit cards. Well, it didn't really say that credit card bills are high because people don't save money and people don't use debit cards. Those don't really fit. So I'm thinking it's either A or B. Which one do you think it is? Right, it's choice A. It talks about people only pay the minimum. We will also talk about that in the next lesson. Pay the minimum. If you are paying the minimum, you are only paying a little bit of your credit card bill. And if you only pay a little bit, your card, the amount you have to pay gets bigger and bigger. So They say that people often have high credit card bills because they only pay a little bit every month when they should be paying more. So, how did you do? We are going to read some more articles about spending and credit cards in the next lessons. So join me for the next lesson, and I will see you then. Bye.